this home sits on the largest lot available for sale in the Shock Hill neighborhood. And just in front of your lot, there is nobody. It's just protected space. I don't know if the camera is doing this any justice, but it is incredible. Look at how spacious this home is. We are in front of the home right here at 456 Peerless Drive in the Shock Hill neighborhood, which we will talk more about a little bit later in the video. But huge thanks to Bo Palazzola with Engel and Volkers for letting us tour the home. You can see a very grand entry to the home, 3-car garage right there, big entry with timber, exposed timber framing, and then you've got stone veneer as well as flagstone behind me here. It's actually a bit understated, which is crazy because this home sits on the largest lot available for sale in the Shock Hill neighborhood. And just in front of your lot, there is nobody. It's just protected space, and you can even see the ski resorts. The Nordic ski track is just outside. We'll get to all of that, but let's talk about the design aesthetic of the home. So again, exposed timber, flagstone, stone veneer coming up into the front entry. I mean, it is just so grand. I don't know if the camera is doing this any justice, but it is incredible. Solid wood door here. Love that. Looks like a pine door, but that is beautiful. Look at all the knots in that. And then we come into the front entry of the home, and we are welcomed by the chalet styling. And when I say chalet styling, I mean the timber beams that are traversing across the wall. And then in between the timber beams, you just have your standard, or I guess in this case, an elevated sheetrock finish. And so that is what the chalet styling looks like. So you've got this nice front entry here. Got a little owner's closet to the side, but let's jump right into what makes this home so special. And this is going to be the living area. The living area is just absolutely incredible. I think we'll start with the kitchen first, because to me, kitchen, it's got to be my favorite part of this home. Just for the styling of it. Again, it is chalet, but it has a little bit of that farmhouse vibe to it. And you'll see what I mean here. We've got these built-in benches for your breakfast nook there. One of 2 breakfast nooks. There's one over there as well. You've got the stone fireplace here. Again, that reclaimed farmhouse type wood, and then kind of that whole aesthetic going throughout here. Nice center island with a 6-burner Wolf stove, beautiful hood with the wood fascia over that. And then we've got, I love when builders do this for their cutting, or for their countertop, I should say. Having a wooden countertop is fantastic. So I absolutely love when builders do this, the wooden chop block for a countertop instead of like your granite countertop. I love this because I'm a chef, and so when I go to prep food, it's super nice to be able to have a like full length cutting board. Let's call it like 5.5 feet long cutting board that's just built right into the countertop. I don't have to go fishing for cutting boards. This is really nice if you're a chef, or if you want to have private chefs over, those of which I can connect you with if you need a private chef for your family events. Again, another breakfast nook here. Beautiful farm sink. Love the way this is situated with the windows that join at the corner. So you get about 220 degrees of views here, and you can actually see Breckenridge Ski Resort. That is actually the tail end of Peak 4 and 5, and then Peak 6 right there. And yeah, then you've even got some outdoor living over there, which we'll talk about shortly. Dishwasher, fridge, spice rack. Again, the windows, the wall of windows here, that's accented by the fireplace. Very cool. You've got a smaller dining table. That's the great thing about this home, right? It's so spacious. Having a smaller dining table here for smaller family gatherings, or if it's just you and a couple of your local friends that live in Shock Hill, and then having your dining table here, and just look at the size of this thing. I mean, you could easily seat 10 people here for a nice Thanksgiving dinner, holiday dinner. And then as you see, we've got wall of windows in this living room that is just amazing. The natural light coming through these is incredible, and primarily because these are west and south facing windows. And so that's going to let in natural light all day. One of the big design aesthetics or biggest design aspects I look for in a legacy home is making sure that you have west and southwest facing windows for that all day natural light. There is nothing more uncomforting in a home, especially in wintertime when the sun sets at 5 o'clock, where your windows are facing north or northeast and your home feels like a dungeon. At 5 o'clock, now you have to use all of this artificial lighting to light up the home. So you can imagine, you know, as the sun goes down, you'll still get those alpenglows, a little bit of remaining sunlight coming in through these windows, and you won't get that dungeon feel. So it's great. And then you can see very spacious living area here. Beautiful aesthetic, especially on this fireplace. It is absolutely incredible the way it has that turret style design and the exposed stone. And this is a true wood burning fireplace. I've said it a million times. I think if you're going to have your legacy mountain property in Breckenridge, you come to the mountains to escape the city. And in the city, like Denver, it does get cold. You flick on a switch for your fireplace, super convenient, great. When you're on vacation with the family, how cool is it to be able to sit around the fireplace, stoke a fire, show the kids how to make a fire? I think that's a really nice touch. God, I could spend so much time in here. And so before I get lost in the beauty of this living room, let's go get lost in the beauty of the outdoor living. So now we are on our deck, wooden deck, beautiful big posts surrounding the deck. We've got board siding, wood board siding, again, more exposed timber. I love the brown on red. And then you've got a little gate down here to take you to your downstairs outdoor living, which we'll talk more about. But as again, from here, you get a really good idea of what your views of the mountains are like. I can see, actually, if I stand here, I can see the Imperial chair. I don't have a super zoomable lens here, but you kind of get the idea. Imperial chair right there, peak 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down to peak 1. And again, your lot being 3.5 acres makes it incredible because your lot kind of traverses that way, and it's more or less in the shape of a oblique rectangle. And right down there is the Nordic ski track. So you can ski in to cross-country skiing and ski out, or I should say ski out onto the trail, ski back into the home right there for you. So that's incredible to be able to have that. You do have a neighbor set off behind the hill there, so you don't really see them. And there's one directly behind the lot on this side, but again, covered by a wall of lodgepole pines. So you're not really sharing any of your living space, and you still get all of the privacy. And so I guess let's talk a little bit about the neighborhood of Shock Hill. And so some of the best things about it, number one, it is on the Nordic ski track that is part of the Breckenridge Nordic Center. And so long as you have a pass, you can ski in and ski out right from your back door. I highly recommend, if you haven't tried cross-country skiing, get into it here, cross-country or Nordic. And it's a great exercise, especially if you want to live up at altitude, and to be able to have that right out your back door is a true luxury feature that not a lot of neighborhoods have. You also have private access to the gondola mid-station. And so that is just for homeowners of Shock Hill. You have an HOA that basically preserves the natural space and the beauty around Shock Hill. So we won't be overdeveloped here. So again, 3.5 acre lot. This is one of the bigger lots, but you'll notice when you come into this neighborhood, it truly has a luxury feel, that legacy feel, where every home you look at, you're like, oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful home I've ever seen. And the next house you look at, it's like, oh wait, no, that's the most beautiful home I've ever seen. So these homes are truly intended for legacy homeowners as well as the Shock Hill neighborhood. And again, you can take that gondola into town, or you can walk into town. There's trails just outside of the Shock Hill neighborhood to take you all into town. Yeah, really a great neighborhood. Okay, back to the tour. Let's talk more features. So we've got a nice little wet bar here. And again, the flow of the home, I know we've been in the living room for quite a little while here, but it just flows so seamlessly from the wet bar behind me, to the living area here with the wall of windows. And then you've got your dining area, your secondary dining area, and your kitchen. And then you can go outdoor onto your outdoor living right there. So the flow here is awesome. Now we've got our first primary suite here. What's special about this primary suite is that you do have your own private deck here. And so this one has views of the mountains as well as the rest of your lot, looking out into the woods. Don't see any homes from this bedroom, so it truly feels like the mountains of Breckenridge are all to yourself. We've got a nice ensuite bathroom here, double sink, vanity, and walk-in closet. Now, let's head into the rest of the home because there are some really great things to talk about. I will show you the primary suite and other secondary suites a little bit later, but first I want to go down into the entertainment portion of the home, primarily because, again, if you were looking for a legacy home, you're going to want a home where your family and friends come back every year. I can't tell you how many times people buy homes off of a Zillow tour, or they use some Zillow agent, and that agent is just so hell-bent on getting the sale. So they'll just push whatever and tell you whatever just to get you to buy the house. And then 3 or 4 years later, the kids aren't coming back anymore. The grandkids aren't coming back anymore. Nobody's coming back. And so now you're forced to sell the home. And as much as I love selling homes, I want you to buy something that you and your family are truly going to enjoy. So we've got to talk about some design aspects that will keep the family coming back. One right here is going to be the bunk room for the kids. I like a nice spacious bunk room because kids, they're rambunctious. They like to play and have fun and roll around, and look at all of this space for them to do so. And kids inevitably have accidents, so having a little slop sink there for them is actually a really cool feature. There's a little closet back there. The owners have that locked off, so we don't have access to that right now. Let's talk briefly about the floors. They're these ICF concrete floors with this auburn orangish paint to them that just looks beautiful, matches the mountain timeless aesthetic very well. This is your second of 3 kitchens. There is a lock off that we will see, so stick around to see the lock off. But this is one of your 3 kitchens here, which is crazy. 3 kitchens in a house. I know. You've got your Wolf oven right there. Plenty of countertop space. Again, very much farmhouse aesthetic in here, mixed with the chalet styling. So that is kind of the theme that is continuing throughout this home. I love the way that they've staged this. Looks very cute, I guess you could say. And then we've got the movie theater. Oh, the movie theater is so cool. Now, let's just pretend, right? After a long day, or I should say an adventurous, epic day of skiing, or maybe a long day of work, you just want to kick back and relax. And what better way to do that in your own private movie theater? How cool is this? So that is definitely something else I'd be looking for in a legacy home. If you want something that's going to keep the kids coming back every year, I mean, I can't think of a better way to do that than your own private movie theater. And then we've got another one of my favorite rooms here, the game room. And so this one is set up with a pool table and beautiful fireplace to kind of mirror the one that was upstairs. That one is a gas burning fireplace. I do think having gas burning fireplaces in your home, totally okay. At least one, probably the main one, should be the wood burning, where everybody can gather around and stoke the fire. But when you're here playing games, having fun, having drinks, you're not going to want to be bothered with a wood burning fireplace. So having the gas burning fireplace is great. Pool table here. So in this corner, you see you've got enough space to set up pinball machines, arcade machines, or whatever. You can even do it across this whole wall. Here, you've got space for an office. As you can see, they've set that up. I personally would be taking all of this out, maybe throwing some more game style features in here, maybe like a racing sim or a video game setup or something for the kids to enjoy. Certainly would increase the size of the TV here. And then, you know, this is the hangout spot between here and the movie theater room. It flows super nicely, so people are out here hanging out. And then another great thing here is our outdoor living. And again, beautiful flagstone. Love these archways here. This is incredible as that comes into focus a little bit. And so we've got tons of space out here for the family to kind of hang out and enjoy the peace and quiet. I almost feel like I shouldn't talk too loud because it is just so peaceful out here that I don't want to disturb the natural progression of things. It's just incredible. I absolutely love it. Sorry, I'm getting lost in how awesome this is. Let's walk back into the home. Okay, so I think one of the coolest things, if you can make it work, if the home allows it, if the town will allow you to build it, or, you know, if you're buying resale, is to have a homekeeper suite or a lock off or something like that. And so we walk into this lock off here. And what's great about this is that this is a big home, right? Over 8,000 square feet, 7 beds, 7 baths, 3.5 acres. And likely you're a busy person. You're not going to be here all the time. So it would be great to have somebody who can live here and care after the home for you, or maybe even house a local who you cut a deal with for them to be able to take care of the home. Obviously you want to vet them and whatnot, but they've got a great space in here so they can still have friends over and still kind of entertain and live that mountain lifestyle. And so, okay, you've got the breakfast nook here, you've got giant sectional seating here so they can set up their little entertainment space. They've got their own outdoor area, which we'll check out shortly. Beautiful kitchen here, again with the wooden countertop that I absolutely love. And it does, again, have that farmhouse aesthetic to it. Gas burning stove there, 5 burner, really nice to have. And then they have got their bathroom, double sink, vanity, tub, and shower. And then they've got their bedroom here with a walk-in closet. Now, let's see downstairs, or I should say outdoor downstairs living. And so your housekeeper does get a little bit of that luxury as well. There's a little fire pit over there, which primarily will be used for you and your guests. But if you were so gracious enough to give that to your housekeeper, it's right there for them to have. And again, they've got beautiful views here, kind of looking out at the pine trees as well as the mountains creeping in through the trees over there. And you can see your neighbor is pretty far set off, so nobody's intruding on your privacy. Now let's continue on. We're getting our steps in today, let me tell you. So washer dryer down here, perfect for your housekeeper. We've got boiler room and mechanicals there. We've checked out, this is our downstairs area. Come back up a flight. This is your mud room. And so you've got shelving here, a little closet on either side. And then one of the great things about this home is your 3-car garage. And as you can see from this 3-car garage. It is very spacious. So you can see full-size truck with a 5.5-foot bed. So let's go back into the home and take a walk upstairs. So for reference, that was the garage coming upstairs back into the main entry of the home. And we will head upstairs to see the rest of the living spaces. So first off here, we have a little library nook / den heading straight into one of our guest suites here. And for reference, give you a little bit of an idea of how big the space is. I love that bed frame with the tapestry traversing over the top of the frame. Then you've got a little seating area right here, again with a little bit of shelving, even a little closet right here for extra storage. Great thing about this home, storage is abundant in the home. And then we come into the ensuite bathroom, and we've got a single piece tub, shower, and we've got a big walk-in closet here with tons of space. And what's great about this tub, personally, if I was a soaker, this is probably where I'd be hanging out, because I get to look right at peak 1, 2, and 3, and that is just beautiful. And again, we are very much keeping with the farmhouse theme with this white and yellow checkered floor. And so we'll continue on. By the way, beautiful wood flooring throughout this space. And then continuing on upstairs as well. Got vaulted ceilings with the exposed beam, plenty of space for all of your favorite artwork, windows to let in some more natural light. We've got some carpet going up the floor that has been built in. We've got a guest bedroom off to the right side there, which we'll check out shortly, but we do have another little den area here. You can see the wall of the fireplace continuing up right here. And then you have this skyway that overlooks the living area, as well as your trusses up there. Very beautiful aesthetic. And then we've got your primary suite. I don't know if I mentioned earlier if one of those was primary or not, but this is the true primary suite. And the reason is, obviously the space in here. We've got the fireplace, outdoor hot tub, which we'll check just shortly. But through here, you've got your own personal office with, let's call it a therapy bed, because that's what it looks like to me. Another gas fireplace, a little shelving there for all of your good reads. And then we've got your bathroom coming off to the side here. Each vanity set up with ample storage and a beautiful contemporary design. Got a soaker tub here, as well as a steam shower, and then a nice sized walk-in closet. That door, again, another private locked off door from the owners, but it will continue your storage space. So now let's take a look outside at your personal deck. And what's great about this deck is that you have a bullfrog hot tub right out here with ample space to set up a little bit of seating if you so choose. And then you get incredible views of the ski resort from here. I hope you can see that, what I'm looking at right now, but that is Kensho chair at peak 6, so you can ski off to the right side in that bowl or off the left side, off of any of that upper terrain. If you like higher level expert terrain, that terrain is fantastic. Or anything below the tree line is generally a blue or a green, so that would be great terrain also, if that's what you're into. Notice we've got a trail that you couldn't really see from the bottom deck, but this trail goes to a little seating area there. You can get a good perspective of the Nordic ski track. And this is just a lovely place to hang out and it's very private, right? The house is big and you can sleep a lot of people, but if you want your privacy, you can certainly have it, especially the way that all of the suites are set up. They're all kind of their own private little wings. And finally, we'll check out the final suite that we have not checked out quite yet. And here we have it. Small, cozy. Here's how cute that is. A little closet there. And then you've got your ensuite bathroom coming into here. And again, the farmhouse with the tongue and groove wooden walls here, or the wooden panels, I should say. White countertop. Again, farmhouse cabinets. And then you've got beautiful tile pattern here with tub. So it is a full bathroom here. This is a Jack and Jill. So it leads into the other guest suite, which is situated perfectly for anybody who wants to stay. We have more storage behind there as well. And so that is primarily, that's the house. That's pretty much everything that you're getting here at 456 Peerless Drive. So I want to give a huge shout out again to Bo Palazola with Hengel & Volkers for letting us tour the home. And if you guys need anything when it comes to luxury living and creating that true legacy in the mountains of Colorado, please go ahead and DM me, comment below, call me, text me, and I will pick up directly. I will not forward you off to an assistant. I value my relationships heavily in this business. And so I'm more than happy to help you guys with anything that you might need. And I'm primarily looking for those legacy homeowners in this video, because this home truly speaks to those legacy homeowners that want to have the space to truly entertain. Again, just to recap, look at how spacious this home is, between the kitchen, the entertainer's living room, the outdoor living, the beautiful views of the Breckenridge ski resort, the wet bar there, the lock off downstairs, the movie theater, everything that Shock Hill has to offer, between the private gondola access and the Nordic Ski and Ski Out Trail. And then Breckenridge, Colorado, if you're not familiar, we're only an hour and a half from Denver and just under 2 hours to Denver International Airport, making us one of the most conveniently located ski resort communities in Colorado. And what's awesome about that also is that your investment is going to be protected here because of the deep buyer pool that comes from Denver. On average, we see about 38 to 40% of our second homeowners come from Denver. People who are going to places like Vail, Aspen, Crested Butte, they're going to fly in to those private airports, and they have the money to spend to be able to do that. Although we are starting to creep into that price point. This home is listed at just under 11 million for just over 8,200 square feet, 7-bed, and one of, if not the most prestigious neighborhood in all of Breckenridge. So again, guys, feel free to give me a call and we can set up a private tour just for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I will see you next week.